Google Play stores. Well, hello there, family. You're listening to Fired Up Fridays with Steve Ryan. Fired Up Fridays, all right. Fired Up Friday will be right back after these messages. If you're anything like me, when you come across something you like, you tell people, right? So I've come across something I like, the Hydro Jug. It's convenient. I can put it in the dishwasher. It's spill proof. It's got a convenient handle. And they even have like this sleeve that you can get that you can put like your phone and keys and things in. I mean, it holds you accountable. It's no excuse not to drink enough water now. All you have to do is get the Hydro Jug at thehydrojug.com. Use a promo code Friday, which is easy to remember, to get 10% off. So go to thehydrojug.com and use the promo code Friday and get 10% off. Easy, breezy, convenient. Hello. Welcome to Fired Up Fridays, Amanda.
Excellent. Hey, Steve, I'm so super excited to be here. Yoo-hoo! I'm fired up on Friday. Love it.
How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. It's a beautiful day. The weather is gorgeous. I moved to Sarasota, Florida 5 months ago from LA after being in LA for 24 years. So it's been a change of temperature and humidity, but the fall is here and it's gorgeous. So really psyched. And it's been a very also very creative time for me. Yeah. So.
Wow. Yeah. That's so crazy because there was a point of time that I was in, Inglewood right below Sarasota.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now it's the reverse. I'm out West Coast and you're there.
Inglewood. You're in Inglewood and in LA.
Well, no, I'm not in Inglewood.
I was just kidding, but yeah, no, there's a Venice here, you know.
Yep, I love the Venice.
Yeah, there's a couple of the same towns everywhere we go. There's a Hollywood, Florida. Also, I used to live in North Hollywood, Florida, years ago. So yeah, it's cool. I've been coming here since I was a kid. So, and my mom and sister live here, but then my mom moved up to Virginia a couple years ago. So it's just my sister here. So now it's my sister and I. She lives a couple miles away, and you know, it's fun. The beach is a few miles away, which is awesome. So sometimes I just go out there and the umbrella and I just write, you know, and so I'm really getting these different, like I said, just kind of different inspirations with my view and my routine and then writing on the beach, like just doing different stuff that's creating different stories. So digging that. Yeah. You gotta change it up. You know, as songwriters, right? If we keep it all the same, like what are we supposed to write about?
That's true. Yeah. And so for anyone who don't know her, this is Amanda, and she's an awesome singer-songwriter. Like awesome.
Thank you.
And her site is, for those of you who are watching, is on the screen, but for those of you who are listening, it is Amanda Abizaid.com.
Yes. I know, it's a hard one.
And so how would you describe this as an artist? Sometimes I hate when somebody asks me this question, but like, how would you describe your music?
Exactly. I never know how to answer that. You know what? I think that, well, I'll just answer what comes to me. I mean, I think pop is very broad, you know, singer-songwriter pop. I'm originally from Beirut, Lebanon, so I have the bilingual Arabic English that comes in, and then some world influences. So it really I'm a storyteller, and it really depends. The production on the song depends on the story that I'm telling. And I just kind of get a feeling for that, you know, the production from the lyrics and the melody of the vocals. So, and also who I'm listening to, you know. But Yeah, I mean, neo soul, world pop, indie pop, orchestral pop. So I think I sound like Sarah Bareilles, Sarah McLachlan. I've heard
Yeah, I hear some of that.
Dido. I've heard Remy from the X's. Uh, so
Yeah,
yeah.
I know when I heard your voice it's like I know it's hard to really classify, like it can't be tied down to one thing. So I was hearing like a pop soul with some flavors of rock and Latin. That's what I
Oh,
was hearing. You was rocking,
I love
especially
it. I love
like
it.
and like this song, you have this song that is on the Grammy ballot
Right,
currently, the first Grammy ballot, and hopefully to be nominated. We're rooting for
right.
you.
Both of us.
But it's called Walking in Twos, and I love
Mhm.
it. And it's like
Thank you.
walking. I mean, just how the video goes. It's like you start off with the kids behind you. It's just it's really 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 cool. Like
Thank
you have to
you.
go to YouTube and check it out because she's like rocking the guitar and just you know it's just like a real wholesome video.
Yeah.
And really it's like it's pointing out, or you know what, I'll let you like what was behind the video for you.
Well, okay. So what the video that you're watching now is the Walking in Twos that I submitted in 2017 that featured Stephen Stills and the Ayeta people of the Philippines. So Walking in Twos, now submitted for the Grammys, was remixed during the pandemic, during quarantine, with artists from around the world: Uganda, Mexico, Lebanon, United States, New Zealand. And so now it's a world collaboration, just a song about positive change. And it's always about unity, humanity, children. It's kind of, we can save the world with a smile, love the world like a child, step in someone else's shoes, let the magic begin, walking in twos. So I'm really happy. The executive producer originally shared her script Jandals with me
Hmm.
a few years ago, and I began to write the original song from that. And so, a great song can be done so many different ways. And when it was done this first way, with the video you're showing me now, then we have, her coming back to me and saying, I want to do it another way. And so we have another video that we just released with all of the singers and artists from around the world on YouTube as well. So I hope everyone will check that one out too. There it is down there, the yellow one. So it's just, it's a great message. And I believe in the message for us to all come together. And that's why it's called Amanda and Friends now. So, I just want as many people to hear it as possible, and I love the exposure it's getting. So yeah, nomination, a Grammy win would be amazing, but we are already winning because we've already done, so much exposure from just, it being out there in the world. So yeah,
Wow, I'm
yeah.
loving this version too. Like
Right?
it's
Isn't it super cute?
yeah, it's like
Yeah,
so for those of you listening, it's like this version of it is like like different. It looks like different world things on the TV. Different
right,
people, all races, ages,
right. That's right.
countries. It's like it's all over everywhere, and it's
Right.
playing on the TV like you're with the yellow background. It's really really nice.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so it's a totally different take and recording, but yeah, I mean, it's just this song is about bringing people together and loving one another, and we're all human, you know. So we bleed the same, we feel the same. So
Right.
it's about that. So I'm really glad to have it out there
Wow.
again. I want to keep getting out there until it wins a Grammy.
And what would you say like inspired this song when you wrote it?
Well, so partially the script, Jandals, which is a song about kids coming together from around the world to um, save their Well, I guess just to save themselves and each other with love, and just learning about coming together, and no matter where you're from, you're just learning how to love
Right.
each other, even though they were so different. At first they were kind of like, I don't know, you're weird, you're Chinese, you're black, you're white, you're Jewish, and so then in the end there was this big thing that happened that they all decided to come together and save everybody, from an explosion that was going to happen and stuff. So yeah, it's about, it's about loving one another no matter where we're from and who we are. And especially when, situations come up when we really need each other, like we do in the world, like during the pandemic and quarantine, we really need each other to keep each other healthy and safe, to care about each other, to love each other. So, so it was inspired by that. And then also on a personal level, it was inspired to me, with my sister's relationship with one of my sisters, and really wanting to kind of reach out to her. And we hadn't talked in a while, and just kind of wanting to heal and make amends. So that's kind of where I got those lyrics from. And it's taught me how to be compassionate, how to be empathetic. I learned from my own lyrics and songs and stories. I take a step back and then I listen to it and I go, yeah, I guess I need to apply this in my life as well. I need to learn this lesson too, and keep being reminded of this lesson too. And music is a fun way to hear those things, that we can work on and be challenged with and be reminded of. So.
Wow. And then the name is so catching. Like Walking in Twos is like, what does that mean? It's real intriguing, and it makes you want to know, what is this about? Like walking in twos. And, and really when people look at it, it's twos with an S. So it's plural.
Yeah.
So it's so to me, when I first saw that, it signified this unity, let's come side by side. Let's,
exactly.
Instead of ones or even just two, selfishness, it's twos, community.
Exactly. And, and yeah, see how does it feel stepping in someone else's shoes? Jandals there's sandals. So yeah, what's it like to be in someone else's shoes that aren't, as nice as yours maybe, or,
right.
What did they go through in their life, and how, with the shoes they have, what have they endured, and vice versa. Yeah. Learn about each other. Yeah. Just walk hand in hand, man. Walk hand in hand for sure. Yeah.
And I was looking at some stuff about you where it says you do motivational speaking and also teach songwriting. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so that's kind of thanks. That's kind of something that that I was doing with the nonprofits, traveling, and just something I want to continue to do to inspire children. Anything, just to inspire them through songwriting, if they come from unfortunate situations in countries that are very poor, or they just have no hope, and they I mean, you don't have to be so down and out to feel that you don't have a chance. It's a very competitive world, and it's very intimidating, and I have felt that way. And struggled to break through my fears and to really do, live my dream life. And so I just want to really be there for kids anywhere in the world, through speaking and through songwriting workshops, to have them really come out of their shells and feel free to say whatever they want in their songs. And I've been pretty impressed. It's like I'm seriously impressed with some of these kids who've written these world peace songs. I'm just like, wow. So I think it's really great to have that encouragement when you're young, especially, or at any age, to just know that it's never too late. Just to keep living your dream and fight through your fears. And writing, is a great way to do that. And I have my mentors and people who inspire me from their motivational speaking. And God, I it's excellent to have those people out there in the world that, you can turn on YouTube or go online and hear these speeches that just encourage you. And you're like, okay, or someone knows how I feel, someone knows how I feel and they get it. So it just helps us to not be alone. And So yeah, that's why I like to do that. It gives me purpose.
Wow. That's pretty awesome. And it seems like this song has really had an impact because now, if I'm not mistaken, you won a silver medal, like from the Global Music Awards.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow. That must have
But
been like an
it was
amazing
great.
win.
It was, yeah, excellent. To be recognized for anything is excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Global Music Awards is an amazing, organization that just so many excellent songwriters, and so it's an honor to get an award and to be recognized, and also to be nominated for the Josie Awards. The song was, so that was pretty amazing. That was my first time on that, and I went to the award show in Knoxville in September and met so many great artists, and it was just a super cool award show and weekend. Dollywood was right next door, So yeah, when we're recognized by award shows, it's excellent for sure.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
people sometimes don't realize how much goes into a song. It isn't just
Mhm.
like writing and that's it. You have to, once you're done and deal with your vocals and deal with the music and deal with the studio and then deal with the after effects and, and then, and then the musician OCD of, is this really it?
Oh my God, I'm so like that. And I'm just like, would somebody else please make this decision because I just can't. I'm too close, I'm too close. I'm nitpicking, it's a fine line sometimes for sure. You got to take a step away and trust and then send the baby off into the universe and let's send it off with the work it deserves to get it out there,
Yeah. I
there's an
really, really,
obligation.
really hope it gets nominated. I
Oh
really
yeah,
do.
me
Like
too.
it deserves it. Like
Thank you.
it's a really good song. Like, and I really mean that. I'm not just saying that. Like it's a good song, because it has so many meaning and the time is now for that song.
Right?
Like, with
Yeah.
everything that's going on, like it's like this dynamic that has shifted in the
Mhm.
world. The world, it's like the energy of just everyday people don't want the mess that we've been experiencing.
I
You can
agree.
feel it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the pandemic, of course, has been and still is, I guess, really tough on a lot of people. But
Yeah.
there's also a lot of growth in there and brightness, that can come out of that the depths of the darkness and everything, the loss that people have experienced, which is really tough. um, but there's also a new beginning and a new opportunity, and
Right.
that's what I see. I see that and try to encourage people to see that. I mean, it's a really great opportunity for change, and you can do whatever you want now. I mean, we're just all over the place now. We don't know what's going on. So
Yeah.
it's like, hey man, let's just do what you always wanted to do. Go for it, go for it.
That's true.
So, because it just seems like things are not quite defined yet as they're moving forward. So I know it's a struggle for a lot of people to try to see that, and it's hard for them to know how to, start anew or figure out what they're doing. And so, yeah. So yeah, we
Yeah.
need encouraging, positive songs and stuff out there to keep building together.
Yeah. And word
Mhm.
on the street is you have a new baby coming out, a new album,
I
Back
was
to
gonna say,
Love in
really?
January.
I'm like, I do? I don't know. I'm looking down there. It's hysterical. No, I totally call my songs babies. Totally. Yeah, I do. Yeah, super excited about that.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, Kabir Segal is also a Grammy not winning producer, and I met him through the Recording Academy, and so we connected during the quarantine, and so he's putting out my album this time on his record label, and yeah, I'm super excited to have my songs coming out in an album January 14th. And I'm going to start my In the Living Room series again, which is something I started during the pandemic. It's just me
Mhm.
playing acoustically in the living room, in my actual
Oh,
living room.
where can we tune in
Yeah, in the
for that?
YouTube, my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah, my YouTube channel, which is Abizaid. That
So
was before
Abizaid.
Abizaid. That's before I realized that I should have had the URLs all the same across the board.
Right.
My website, my channel, MySpace, I think at that time. So I didn't realize that I could have had Amanda Abizaid, but it's Abizaid, youtube.com, Abizaid. In the living room series, you can watch a bunch of videos that I did during quarantine, and I am going to start that up actually in November again. So from
Oh, wow.
from songs on the new album, and I'm always recording because I pitched to TV and film, so I'm always recording singles as well. But back to love, yeah. During the quarantine, I'm just like, let's get back to love for sure. We need to get back to love. Yeah.
And with that title, like for me, like when I see that title, I see like Back to Love. It's so many meanings. I don't feel like it's just, the typical meaning, but like, let's get back to humanity. Let's get back to caring about each other. Let's get back to like the things that matter. Because if anything, what, this whole pandemic should have taught us is that that's what's important.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Break it
And I
down.
love
Slow it down.
I love the album cover too. Her album cover, for those of you listening, it's like, it looks to me like, and I'll just describe it how I see it, like she's just having fun in the wind and like it wasn't a pose. It doesn't look like a pose. It looks like you were having fun and they just happened to catch that shot.
Yes,
That's how
they
it
did.
looked.
Yeah, it was at the end of the shoot. You know how it goes. It was at the end of the shoot, and we're just like, "What should we do?" Have we got it? I don't know if we've got it. And I was just like, "Woo hoo!" There it is.
And if you go to her website, Amanda Abizaid, AmandaAbizaid.com, you can get, I believe I saw on here, a free download of Creep Cover with the email sign up by radio. I've heard that because I signed up to your email, and that was pretty cool. And then you can hear some other songs. Like she has like about 8 songs on her website. It's really clean too, and there's the YouTube at the bottom. So if you don't remember how to get to her YouTube, just go to her website and you can click on the YouTube at the bottom and catch her on the Living Room Live, or whatever that was said in
the
the
living room series.
end of the Living Room series.
Live, yeah. Yeah, thank you. My
That's so
battery
cool.
was going to die, so I had to get up.
Oh, no.
I was like, 50%! Oh my God! Oh, Lord.
Well, we'll be right back after this short commercial break. Fired Up Friday will be right back after these messages. I cannot stop talking about the Hydro Jug. This thing is so convenient. It saves me time. It holds like half a gallon of water. I can put it in the dishwasher. I mean, it's so cool. And they got so many different colors too to pick from. So if you use the promo code Friday, you'll get 10% off. Friday on a Friday or any day, I imagine. But I love some Hydro Jug. So go to thehydrojug.com. And they have like different sleeves and different colors. Like this thing is so cool. And you can carry it. I can't stop talking about it. It's so cool. Thehydrojug.com. Use promo code Friday. All right. Welcome back. And something else I noticed on your website too, that people can donate to the Emergency Relief Fund for Lebanon.
Yes.
So that's a really good cause. You want to tell us about that a little bit, or?
Well, yeah, that's a nonprofit that is very safe. Both of these nonprofits for the Philippines, Help Philippine Schools, and Education and Opportunities for Lebanon are very safe places for you to send your money and donate. It goes directly to the foundation and directly to the children. Sometimes, you don't know where your money's going, but for sure, these two, I know these people personally, and it goes directly to them. So, Education Opportunities for Lebanon is a nonprofit that helps Lebanese children. The government doesn't really help Lebanese children. They help, I don't know who they're helping now because there's so many issues there.
Wow.
But they were helping other refugees and not so much the Lebanese refugees. I've known the people on the board since I was a kid. Mm-hmm. My sister went to school with, one of the board members. So it's a personal connection. And, we're still trying to get over there so that I can do these, motivational talks and teach these kids songwriting.
Right.
And we're hoping that it will be a safe opportunity soon. So in the meantime, because Lebanon has gone through so much, with the protests, and then it was the pandemic, and then it was the explosion. And of course, now the government is very unstable. So the lira is, I don't know, it's crazy to the dollar. So they really need financial support, and also, so it's something that we're still trying to make happen, and hoping it'll be safe to go there soon.
Wow. So that's a really, really good cause. So please go to her site and definitely support those charities, because that is a really good cause. And sometimes these things can be forgotten. It's like they're on to the next news story, and it's like, well, these people are still suffering and going through what they're going through, right? Even though they're moved on to the next news story, because it's reality. Yeah,
it's a big world out there, and there's a lot of people that need help, so.
Wow. And then, how did you feel? You played on, is this Channel 18 TV? It was a show. I forget the name of it.
Kababayan.
Yes, television. That's it. How was that? How was that experience? Because that's a pretty big show.
Absolutely. So Tanji Giselle, it was the spokesperson, newscaster there. Very nice, and she's a pretty famous Filipino actress, I believe. And because I went to the Philippines to teach these kids, through the nonprofit. She was sort of like, well, how are you having a song? How is an American Lebanese girl have a song called Walking in Twos with Filipino children on recording? How did you become interested in the Filipino people, in other words? She interviewed me on her show, which was excellent. So that really enabled me to have that whole crowd of Filipino people. And I had children on that version of Walking in Twos have never been heard before. Tagalog, their Tagalog dialect is unique to their village, so it's never been heard before, or have they ever, been recorded. It was recorded in the village, their voices. So it's a very special recording and opportunity to have been. And I had to be invited to go to the village. I think I was actually the first. I was told by my friend that this specific village, that it was the first time that they have ever seen a white woman. So here I come up the hill, my little pigtails of red and brown hair. And my friend said, they think you're an alien, and they don't really trust you, and they didn't speak English. Didn't matter. Started playing the song, and they loved it. That's why I knew it was something special, because they just absolutely loved the song, and they were just sort of humming along to it. And so they sang on it. I have a friend from the Philippines that I said, so can you understand what they're saying? And she said, no. She said they have their own dialect. They use different words, and I'm not quite understanding. So that was pretty interesting.
Wow.
And then to have Stephen Stills play on it was also an incredible. He's such a nice person, and a huge supporter of children.
Right.
So that's why he was like, oh, absolutely, I'll play on it. So those two together just makes that recording very magical as well.
Yeah. And I would say that we have the same question that the news that station has is, how did you get linked up with the Philippines?
Okay, so here's the story. So Robert Wagner, who is was a U.S. Marine. I guess they're always U.S. Marines. So he's retired U.S. Marine soldier. who dated my sister when I was a little girl in Lebanon. So he came over one day with my sister, and I met him. We all met him. And he has stayed in touch with my family over the years. And so back in, I guess, 2015, he reached out to me and said, "Hey, I've been, checking out your music and everything you stand for. And I have a nonprofit called Help Philippine Schools. And I just think that it would be super cool and, for you to come. And I think that you could really reach these children. I really want them to be inspired and through songwriting. And will you come for 2 weeks, to the Philippines?" So I said, "Yeah, wow." I mean, I was like, this is an interesting avenue of my music that I never had thought about before,
Yeah.
And I don't have children. And I was feeling like, bummer, I don't have kids. I guess I'm not going to have kids. So then all of a sudden this came up and I thought, wow, I've got more kids in the world now than I could ever imagine through my music. And it was a gift in the storm. It was a gift in the storm. So I was on it. I went, and that's how that all happened. So
Wow.
you never know, you never know who you know and who you're going to run into again, and how that's going to expand your life. And, it's just super cool like that. So.
Wow. That is an amazing story.
Yeah.
Wow. Now were those kids on the YouTube video too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are the kids from the
Oh.
Husband Village. Yeah, the kids who sang. Yeah, that's them.
Wow. So now that we know the story, it makes you want to go back and watch the video again. Now
Absolutely.
that you know the story behind the video.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah, for sure.
wow, that's amazing. That's okay. Now it's all making sense. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and this is why sometimes people hearing the background, it really can elevate a song, because it's like, oh, now we get it. Like, it's like, wow, you're actually seeing the Philippine kids, like for real, for real. Like, these aren't acting kids,
No, and from a village that is, hidden in the volcanic mountain range, and an exclusively private village. So we are really gifted to have insight on their specific village.
Yeah.
They really trust my friend Robert and trusted me to do this. So that was real
Wow.
special. Yeah, super
That's
special.
amazing.
I learned a lot about them. I didn't know about them before. So I learned a lot about the Filipino people and the Ayata people. And I didn't
Wow.
know their history and how, they've been involved with the United States, since World War II, and how they supported us. And, it's a lot of history there.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And you said they were isolated. Like, were they isolated from like most of the population there, like remotely?
Yeah, so the Ayata don't really mingle with society. They live in the Pinatubo volcanic mountain ranges across the Philippines. So there are many villages. I don't know a whole lot about that aspect of it, but
Right.
there's their villages. They have their own dialects, and so they're just really have their own way of doing things. They don't have running water. They don't have electricity. They live off the land, so it's a very, it's cool, I mean, it's just very different. It's beautiful.
Wow.
And, it's really beautiful. Yeah. It was very humbling experience. I thought, oh, they're going to be sad and depressed because they don't have water. And well, water is a necessity,
Right.
This is something the the nonprofit tries to make happen for them, but, they don't have electricity, and, just they're living in shacks, and they're happy. And they're happy.
Wow.
They're living their lives, and they're excited, and they're amazing people. And see, we just, I was so jaded from just, it's all, relative, but it just, it was very humbling experience. And just to, you can't judge,
And so that's where the helping the Filipino schools donations come in.
Correct.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing what you're doing. That's
Yeah.
I find that incredible. And that, like even before we met, I was like, she is a cool person. Like she just
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like just because, when you especially doing musicians, I feel like for a lot of musicians there's a sense of empathy that comes. I can't say every musician, but
yeah.
but, but quite a bit, and you start to get a feel for if somebody's jamming, if they're lightful, or if it's like
Mhm.
okay. And you
Mhm, yeah.
just come across very lightful, like just genuinely
Oh,
wanting to help people.
oh,
So
thanks.
that's really amazing.
Well, you do too, Steve. That's why I wanted to do this interview with you. You totally come across that way. Absolutely. And I was very inspired and drawn to your song that you submitted and your site and everything about you. You're a super cool, special person.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, you really are.
Yeah. Well, it'll
You
be
got a lot of
cool one
heart.
of these days to collaborate. I bet we'll make
Oh,
an
sure.
awesome song.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, you
So
have a lot of sincerity behind you.
thank you.
Yeah. Real, keeping it real.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
No, it's
true. And
cool.
it,
It's
it's
cool.
it can go from happy to, okay, like let's get straightforward about A, B, and C. But
Yeah.
it's always in a respectful way.
Mhm.
And I always like people to just know where I stand.
Mm.
You
Oh,
know?
yeah. Mhm, I'm the same way. I'm very, what to say my father used to say, "Oh, you know what you're gonna get from me.
Yeah.
There's no side stuff." I mean, I tell it like it is. Yeah, he always liked that about me because he knew what he was gonna have, if he wanted to talk to me about something, he knew how it was gonna go, and he knew I could handle the conversation because I'm straightforward, so
Yeah.
I'll tell him right there what I thought of it. Some people don't particularly like that, but no, I've learned to be, to I don't know, polish the edges a little, like be a little more
Right.
softer with my softer with my straightforwardness.
I
Let them down
totally
easy kind of
understand.
thing, curb it a little.
I totally
Yeah,
understand.
it's good. But no, it's better to be that way. I think it's easier to communicate. When you're clear.
Yeah,
Kindly
that's
clear.
true.
You can be kind when you're being clear. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
And how are the beaches now there? When you said Sarasota, because I didn't
Yeah.
realize you were in Sarasota, and I'm thinking about like those beaches that sometimes they get the what do they call it, red tide sometimes.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the red tide was bad this year. Yeah. And it
Oh,
was here. Yeah. And
wow.
that was something I didn't really realize about. I guess it's a natural phenomena of the ocean cleaning up the toxins. But of course, we make that worse, by stuff we put in the ocean. And
Yeah.
sadly, it kills fish and whatever. It's the algae, I guess, that comes through and cleans up and then goes with the storm, goes out to the ocean.
Right.
Well, anyway, I hope I'm not being ignorant about that explanation, but I mean, that's kind of somewhat about it. And yes, it is. Yeah, avoid at all costs until it's gone. So I think it was
Yeah.
about 2 months. Yeah, because I went one time just for an hour with my sister, sitting far away from the water because she had come to
Mhm.
town. My other sister, and my eyes were burning and my throat was
Yep.
hurting. I had asthma. I was like, we shouldn't be here. We're like, yeah, I don't think we should be here. So we left. But for 3 days, I was using my inhaler and I was scratchy. I went into a recording session and I was like, oh my God, I sound terrible. I can't record today. What's going on. And I told the engineer and he said, oh yeah, the red tide. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what you're feeling there. So never again
Yeah.
on that. But yeah, it's beautiful now. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's something that happens every year. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. So as you're describing it, I remember
Mhm.
every experience,
Ah.
and nothing helps during that time.
Oh no,
Nothing.
just stay
Just
away
have
from
to
it.
ride it
That's right.
out.
Just let the ocean do what it's gonna do and
Yeah.
stay away.
Except for some white horehound tea, that seemed to be something that
Oh,
helped. And this isn't
oh.
me giving medical advice to anybody, but it's something about that white. It tastes
Oh.
horrible, but it's so good. I mean, when I say horrible, like I do this thing to where like if someone's never tasted it, I say,
Mhm.
okay, do you mind if I video record your reaction when you taste it? Like, oh, it's not going to be that bad, and everybody's like,
Oh.
"Ugh."
Oh
Oh
my
my God.
God. White corn tea?
White horehound tea.
Horehound tea. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
This,
And what does it clear your voice?
I mean, it's like you have, for me, if there's any kind of illness or
Oh, okay.
breathing
So it's like
thing or
ginger or
respiratory
something.
thing, it's like a strong, you can't really do too much of it because it cleans you out. Like it really does clean you
Okay.
out, if you get what I'm saying.
Right,
So
right. Okay.
it's going to get whatever's out.
Okay. Well,
Like,
that's awesome though. No, I mean, if you're starting to not feel well, nip it in the bud,
yeah.
man. You know?
Yeah, that's that, but if it's overdone, it's just like it's almost like overtaking antibiotics.
Right, right.
Only
Gotta
like
be
one
careful.
per day. That's it. Like, or
Okay.
maybe 2 or 3 days
Interesting.
at the most.
Interesting. Wow, that's cool.
Fired Up Friday will be right back after these messages. If you're anything like me, when you come across something you like, you tell people, right? So I've come across something I like, the Hydro Jug. It's convenient. I can put it in the dishwasher. It's spill proof. It's got a convenient handle. And they even have like this sleeve that you can get that you can put like your phone and keys and things in. I mean, it holds you accountable. It's no excuse not to drink enough water now. All you have to do is get the Hydro Jug at thehydrojug.com. Use a promo code FRIDAY, which is easy to remember, to get 10% off. So go to thehydrojug.com and use the promo code FRIDAY and get 10% off. Easy, breezy, convenient. Yeah. Is there anything else you would like to share with us, or anything you would like to, like if someone's listening or watching, what would you want them to know about Amanda? As a
Oh,
takeaway.
wow.
I
Well,
know.
I don't know. I mean, I would say, look, I really am going through a transformation in my life right now. And, been in a marriage for almost 20 years. And that is, changing right now. I don't know what's going to happen there. So I've got a lot of writing that I'm doing and also just really just learning a lot about compassion and empathy. And just really changing my ways to be a kinder, more loving person moving forward. This experience is bringing this gift of my, marriage. So what will be with that, and it's okay, but leading with love for sure in my heart in that process. And so my songs are just coming out. I'm writing a lot. I'm writing a lot of heartbreak songs. I'm writing a lot of love songs. And then just experiencing new things being in Florida. So that's what you just look out for. Lots of new songs with a new journey from this transformation time. So, yeah.
Wow.
And I'd love for people to reach out to me and say, hey, and, I love it when my fans respond to a song, and it's really cool to see how people receive songs, what they get
Yeah,
from it, I mean,
that's true.
I
That's
don't like
true.
to, I don't like to particularly tell a specific story about a song because I want it to be their own, so or they
Yeah.
don't know why I wrote it, which is
Yeah.
fine because, and then they write back, and then they tell me how, it went for them. And then I'm like, wow, that is so cool. Like I never would have thought of that. I was so glad that they got that from the song. So it's healing for me. My songs are healing, and they're, and I love it when fans reach out. So please reach out and say hey anytime you want.
Wow. And so pretty much everyone can find your socials right on your website. You have your Instagram, your Facebook, SoundCloud, Pandora, and Spotify.
Totally
And,
hang out at Spotify and stream.
yeah.
And subscribe to my YouTube channel.
And subscribe to your YouTube channel.
Yeah, to watch these videos in the living room series. Yeah. I'm not on Twitter anymore because somebody stole my account. So do not listen to them. And I tried to get them to change it for me. And they didn't, they didn't let me. They didn't let me have any control over it. They're believing this other person. So I'm not on Twitter anymore. So don't engage with the Amanda Abizaid on Twitter because it's not me. And it's just really weird. I felt really unprotected by Twitter. I was kind of really disappointed. that I
Yeah.
wasn't going to be able to get my sight back, and that I had to prove this stuff. And then they were like, well, sorry, you can't prove yourself. I'm like, okay, well, that's weird. I don't know how that works, but yeah, so I'm not on Twitter anymore. But that's okay.
That is, my heart goes out to you for that. You know,
Yeah,
usually that happens on a different social, which I won't say, but it's like for it to happen on Twitter, that's kind of
it's a bummer. And then I had a ton of fans, and so I really hope, I don't know what they're hearing, and I'm just hoping that they'll just come to my website, and if they're in question of anything.
Wow. Well, sorry to hear that.
It was time to leave Twitter. I guess it was time to leave Twitter, I prefer people to sign up on my email list and stay in touch with me directly. That way that we can have a more personal relationship with the songs and my music journey, and, listen to what they want to hear, what they like. So I totally think that's the best way to stay in touch. Social media is great, but ultimately email, sign up on the email. And so that you can get my newsletters, because I send out a monthly newsletter. So.
Oh yeah, because I'm on your email list. Yes,
Awesome.
and I like it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's the best way to stay in touch and know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And you got some IMDb credits.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's cool. So you do some acting, and you also have some composer credits. So that is pretty good.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, I'm when I first came out to LA, I hooked up with Boss House Music as a production company, and I was their first singer, and we just did a session singer, a ton of songs, and they got placed in TV. And the biggest one was the theme song for the 4400. That got me a ton of fans around the world. And so, now when the quarantine hit, I thought, how am I going to keep doing my music? Nobody's playing live, so I've just jumped right back into learning how to really submit my songs properly, professionally, to sync. So now I'm communicating with supervisors and shows and agents to really get the opportunities again to have my songs on TV and film. I love the audio visual of music too. It was super fun, and I just love recording. I just love going in the studio and recording, and then seeing and then hearing the song on a show. In a whole different visual than I wrote it for. Once again, once the song is done, it's everybody else's story, and I just love it. And then I love to have, to be able to see that come back. It's just a real honor to be able to see that. So yeah, that's how I kind of started in LA. And so now that's kind of where I am again now with it all.
That's pretty awesome. I remember seeing the 4400, and so you did that song. That's pretty awesome.
Well, I sang it. The writers, the production, Stephen and Tim with Boss House, they wrote it. But I sang it. But they won the Emmy. We won the Emmy for the best TV. Yeah, the best TV song for 2005. It's been a long time.
Wow.
The summer of 2005. So yeah.
Wow. I did not know you won an Emmy. That's pretty cool.
Well, they won the Emmy.
I mean, but you're connected
writers
to
won
it.
the Emmy, but I was the singer.
But still, you're connected to it.
Yeah,
So
I guess I
you were
won an Emmy.
connected. Yeah, you're connected to an Emmy-winning project.
That's right.
Yeah,
I sang on the Emmy-winning theme song.
Take the credit where that's your credit. Like you deserve that credit.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Like that's a huge deal.
Yes, it was a very big deal. And it was because it was super cool and fun. I went to bed and nobody knew who I was. And this is the story they tell about in LA, right? And I woke up in the morning and I got people knocking on my door, and it's like, what? People calling. I'm like, what? Oh my God, the 4400 theme song, and my face is everywhere online. This was new with the internet and stuff. So it was like, oh my God, this happened. So that was a cool experience. And then I went and met the director of TV and film, David Grossman of in the Paramount Studio lot in Hollywood, and so that was my Marilyn Monroe moment. It just when it hits in LA and Hollywood, it's super cool. when you hit like that, and red carpet and all that. I mean, it's an experience. It's an
Yeah.
experience. And then you just got to have your head on straight to manage the ride. Because, but it was super cool. And then, and all the fans I get, emails from people wanting my autograph or, emailing me about the song. That's just so amazing. Fans are number one.
Yes.
Number one, because doing music for yourself and not sharing it is boring. But getting fans to reach out, I mean, and that just makes it all for me, just makes it all for me. So
Fired Up Friday will be right back after these messages. Are you ready to be a better you? Visit theabundantlion.com today. And I don't know if this works this way for you, but it does for me. But I'll see if it works this way for you. But like, I can hear a song a million times and be sick of it and like working on it in the studio before it's released. But every single time I witness someone else listening to it or playing it, it's almost like I'm reliving it for the first time. Do you experience that too? Like,
absolutely, because they're just coming. They're just coming from a different point of view on it.
Yeah,
it's a new experience, absolutely, and a joy every time. It never gets old.
And I thank you for coming on the show because I can tell you're the type of person that like you prefer to just let the music speak and you don't really like to talk about yourself a whole lot, which is cool. And so I appreciate you taking the time to come on the show, and share your story. Like I hope even more people find out about you now. Like they need to know you. Like,
Steve, thank you. I appreciate that. Now you're super, super cool. It's a little scary coming out to Sarasota, Florida, which is a lot slower and obviously doesn't have the industry here. And I didn't want my music to go away. It was a big risk, I didn't want to leave, my music, my big part of my identity. So when you said, want to do an interview, I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. So, so it's really filled my heart to be able to do this and to feel connected and to know my music is living on.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't matter where I am, I got Steve, to bring it out to the world for me. Yeah. I really appreciate it. Yeah. I've been looking forward to this. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Is there anything else you would like to share? Anything else before we wrap it up?
I'm just super glad to meet you. I'm super glad to meet you. I love
you too.
how real you are, seriously, the earth and real. And from everything that you do and the song that you've submitted and your music, it's just very inspiring and you really keep it real and you really care about other people. Your personal video was just really nice. You just really care one-on-one about people. And that comes across. Hey, that means a lot. You share intimate things. You get personal with people and we need that. We need that. We really do. So thank you. Thank you for that honesty and that transparency that you have. Yeah, it was really, really awesome. I know it inspires other people. So
yeah, I hope so. Like you always hope that. I know she's turning the tables around.
Well, it's my interview now. No, I'm serious, man. I'm totally serious.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I think I wrote you back and said sometimes I wonder, what I should and shouldn't say and how personal to trust, online, and to trust people that are listening. But you got to know that it's for the person who needs to hear it. So
exactly,
the haters can hate, and it's like not going to stop being, here for the way you need to be here. So it was encouraging for me with my series coming up. Now I'm going to get real personal. Steve did.
Right.
I can do it too.
That's cool. Are you going to send out like a email reminder or anything if the show comes? Oh yeah, because I definitely want to catch it.
Yeah. So I'll send out an email reminder of when their YouTube premiere will be, and then because that's how YouTube works. You set up a premiere. And then you subscribe and make sure you get the reminder of the premiere, and then I'll be there and we can chat on the side and be like, hey, what's up? Yeah.
Oh yeah, because if they're subscribed to your channel and set the notification, it should notify that a premiere is
That's
coming
right.
up.
That's right. And of
Yeah.
course, it's pre-recorded. So I am sitting there watching the chat, waiting for people to say, hey, how's it going? I'm there. So, but be careful, because once it's over, boom, the page is gone. It's like I'm typing, it went away. But yeah, I'll definitely send it.
I just saw my notifications right now.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, sign up for my email list at amandaabizaid.com, and you will get my reminders of the premiere in the living room series.
In the living room. Oh, I love that. That's going to be awesome.
In my new living room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, don't forget, please, please, please go to Amanda Abizaid. So AmandaAbizaid.com. All right. So this wraps it up for this edition of Fired Up Friday. All right.
Yeah. Awesome.
Are you ready to feel good? Are you ready to feel inspired? Then come and get your I Am Strong merch. It's smooth on the skin. And guess what? When you wear it, people will be asking, where did you get that shirt? Where did you get those clothes? And you can say, I am strong. Come on over to steveryan.com today.